The lights were dim, the audience restless, and the judges sat with their pens ready, waiting for yet another audition to begin. But when a shy, barefoot boy stepped onto the massive stage, the world seemed to pause. His clothes were worn, his voice quiet, and yet there was something in his eyes, a mixture of fear and determination, that silenced the chatter in the crowd. Nobody knew then that this little boy, who had come from the poorest streets of the Philippines, was about to change everything with one song. His name was Miguel. At just 12 years old, he had lived a life far harder than most could imagine. His father had left the family years ago, and his mother worked long hours in a small bakery just to keep food on the table. Most nights, Miguel would sing on the streets with an old, battered guitar, hoping for a few coins to help buy rice for his siblings. Singing was not just a passion for him, it was survival. Music became the only place where his pain could turn into beauty. When Miguel learned about the audition, he almost didn't go. The fare alone was too much for his family, and he was terrified of failing. What if they laugh at me? What if I am not good enough? He asked his mother, his voice trembling. She placed her calloused hands on his shoulders and whispered, "Son, your voice is a gift. Let the world hear it. Do it for yourself, and do it for your dreams." With borrowed money from a kind neighbor, Miguel made it to the stage. As he stood under the blinding lights, his small hands trembled around the microphone. The judges glanced at him, some skeptically, as if they expected nothing remarkable. Then the music began. The familiar chords of Hotel California filled the air, and Miguel closed his eyes. The first note left his lips, soft but piercing, carrying the weight of every struggle he had ever faced. The crowd froze. His voice wasn't just good, it was raw, emotional, and filled with a soul far older than his years. Every word seemed to tell a story of pain, resilience, and hope. By the second verse, people in the audience were already wiping tears from their eyes. The judges leaned forward, completely captivated. It was as if the song had been reborn through him, no longer just music but a cry from the heart. But Miguel almost broke down mid-song. As he reached the powerful chorus, memories of sleeping hungry, of singing in the rain for spare coins, flashed in his mind. For a moment, his voice cracked. The audience gasped. He gripped the microphone tighter, whispering to himself, "Don't stop. Don't give up." Then, with renewed strength, he sang louder than before, his voice echoing through the hall like a promise to his younger self that he would never let his hardships define him. By the final note, the silence in the hall was overwhelming. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Then, as the last chord faded, the entire audience rose to their feet, clapping and crying at the same time. The judges, unable to hold back their emotions, stood with tears streaming down their cheeks. One of them reached forward and slammed the golden buzzer, showering Miguel in a storm of glittering gold confetti. Miguel fell to his knees, overcome with disbelief. For the first time in his life, he wasn't just a poor boy singing on the streets. He was a star. He was someone whose voice had touched the hearts of millions. His mother, watching from backstage, sobbed uncontrollably, her hands pressed against her mouth as she realized her son's life had just changed forever. News of Miguel's performance spread like wildfire. Within days, the video of his audition went viral across the world. People from every corner of the globe shared his story, calling him the boy who sang with his soul. Messages of love, support, and offers to help poured in. Miguel's dream, once so distant, was now within reach. But fame didn't change him. He never forgot where he came from. Instead of keeping the money for himself, Miguel used it to support his family and to give free lessons to children in his village who also dreamed of singing. He often said, "I know what it feels like to be unheard. If my voice can help others find theirs, then my struggle was worth it." The world didn't just see a talented boy that day. They saw hope. They saw proof that no matter where you come from, no matter how hard your struggles are, if you hold on to your dream and sing from the heart, you can move mountains. And so, Miguel's voice echoed far beyond that stage. His story became a reminder to millions that talent is not defined by wealth or privilege, it is born from passion, courage, and the will to never give up.